What if the dark side of the moon hides more than darkness? Mysterious structures, ancient cities, and a presence that watches. The secret base is on the dark side of the moon. What if humanity isn't alone on the moon? What if something watches us from the shadows, hidden on the dark side, where no sunlight reaches and no telescope can see? And what if our governments have known all along? In 1969, the world celebrated as Apollo 11 made history. But 2 minutes of the live broadcast were mysteriously cut. NASA claimed it was a technical glitch, but insiders whispered about a conversation that was never meant to be heard. Neil Armstrong's voice was shaken, his words frantic. "They're massive, watching us, lined up on the crater's edge." What did he see? Why was it censored? And who made that call? Years later, Buzz Aldrin hinted at strange sightings during their mission. When pressed, he would only say, "There was something out there, close enough to be observed." But he never finished his sentence. Why? Was he silenced? It doesn't end there. In 1994, the Department of Defense launched the Clementine mission, officially to map the moon. Unofficially, it was reconnaissance, capturing high-resolution images of the far side. Leaked reports revealed photographs of enormous structures, perfectly geometric, unnaturally precise, unmistakably artificial. A former Pentagon analyst confessed they looked ancient, like ruins left behind. But left behind by who? And where did they go? In 2012, Chinese satellites snapped images of the dark side, revealing colossal shadows that didn't match the terrain, rectangular formations too orderly to be natural, and what appeared to be a massive entrance, like a gateway into the moon itself. The photos vanished from public databases, and Chinese officials refused to comment. What were they hiding? Why were the images erased? Then came the testimonies. Russian cosmonauts admitted that Soviet probes sent to the moon mysteriously vanished. Wreckage was never found. One cosmonaut, his voice trembling, recalled, "We were warned off. There was a presence. Powerful. Territorial. Who or what warned them off? And why?" Imagine this. Dr. Elena Vasquez, an astrophysicist at NASA, stumbles upon encrypted files buried deep within the lunar mapping database. Her pulse quickens as she opens them. High-resolution images of monolithic towers, vast complexes, and enormous tracks etched into the lunar dust, as if something titanic once moved across the surface. But when she confronts her superiors, they deny everything. Hours later, her access is revoked, her research erased, and she's placed on indefinite leave. That night, Elena's phone buzzes with an anonymous message. "They know you've seen it. Run." Her computer is hacked, her phone tapped, and unmarked black SUVs begin tailing her. She's not just fighting for the truth, she's fighting for her life. Desperate for answers, Elena tracks down former astronaut Michael Turner, who vanished from the public eye after his mission to the moon. She finds him living in a remote cabin, paranoid, his windows covered in foil. "They listen through the signals," he warns. "They're always listening." Michael confesses that his mission was ordered to avoid the dark side at all costs. But during a systems malfunction, they caught a glimpse, and it changed everything. "It's not just structures," he says, his voice shaking. "It's an entire complex, powered, operational, and they knew we were there." Elena's heart races. "Who?" she asks. Michael's face goes pale. "I don't know who built it," he whispers. "But they're still there, watching, waiting." Determined to expose the truth, Elena and Michael break into NASA's secure network, broadcasting the images to the world. But just as the upload begins, the power cuts out. Shadows move outside. There's a knock on the door. 3 slow, deliberate taps. Michael's face turns white. "They've found us." The door shatters. Figures step inside, their movements inhumanly precise, their faces obscured by black helmets. Elena's scream is cut short as everything goes dark. The broadcast ends. The images vanish from the internet. News outlets report a data anomaly. NASA denies everything. Elena and Michael are never heard from again. But then, whispers emerge of encrypted files circulating the dark web, of radio signals bouncing off the moon and returning distorted, of lunar satellites malfunctioning whenever they pass over the dark side. What's up there? Why are they hiding it? And who's really in control? Do you believe the dark side of the moon is just rock and shadow? Or is there something more? Something ancient, something powerful, something that's been watching us for centuries? What if humanity was never alone? What if they're waiting for us to come back? The truth is out there. But are you ready to face it?